Hey, what's up? This is Udolena from Udolena Digital, and today's video is devoted to online etiquette. I know someone of you asked me to create a video about how to win friends and influence people reviewing this famous book by Dale Carnegie. However, at the moment we all work from home, so it will be very interesting to talk a little bit about what are the do's and the don'ts of online communication. I work for Google, so I'm very used to online communication. For us, it was not a huge change to just move the office from home. We just didn't have the usual perks from the office, but working at home is pretty easy as we are really used to doing online calls, online communication, email communication, and it's been taken into something like a cult within us. So I'm gonna share with you a few of my tips on online communication. Number one, when you create a meeting, make sure that you arrive on time. This is super crucial. It is accepted to arrive, let's say, within the first minute or so. After the second minute, the other people who are already on the call are getting nervous. They're wondering what's going on, whether you're showing up or not, or the worst thing, they might start the meeting without you. Then you pop up in and they have to start explaining from the beginning. Also, if you are organizing the meeting and you have someone who is late, you can allow tolerance for about 2 or 3 minutes for half an hour call and no more than that. And then you start the meeting, no matter what, who came late or early, they will figure it out. But don't just wait for everybody to arrive because it gets boring. Maybe some of the people who started and came early get demotivated. Also be mindful that there might be a valid reason for someone to be late for a meeting. They might be busy with parents, with children, with all kind of things that could be happening at home. So don't be too harsh on them, but just start the meeting. If you cannot come to this meeting, just cancel it, postpone it, or let the other people know that you won't be making it to this call. Rule number 2, during the online call, try not to make extra noise. There are certain types of equipment which are actually very misleading, because let's say you have these nice headphones which are isolating all the noise, but their microphone is so strong that people hear every single thing, like your breathing, your heartbeat. It's really annoying. So the best thing you can do, especially if it's a call with a lot of people with different seniority, is to mute yourself and unmute yourself when you want to say something. People would understand why you mute it. Nobody's going to judge you. Also, if your camera is not good or your internet is not good, it's absolutely fine to turn off your camera. You don't have to show your face at every single meeting. You can just easily acknowledge that and say to people, you know, my internet is a bit weak, so I'm turning the video off. This is a bit of a contradiction, and maybe you might disagree with me, but I do believe in Ben Affleck's famous saying from The Boiler Room.
At least one decent suit, because we have a kind of a minimum level of aesthetic professionalism here that we have to maintain.
You need certain level of aesthetic professionalism, even when working from home. The fact that you're at home doesn't mean, first of all, that you have to be dressed as a bum. Even if you're not showing your face on video calls, in general, I would recommend you to wear something presentable even while you're at home. You should not wear like broken, stained clothes that are just making your self-esteem down, and it kind of provokes a certain way of behavior and attitude in you over weekends. But that's a different topic. When you are working from home, I cannot believe why people, when they have calls, let's say with their boss, with other colleagues, it's to me it's a bit disrespectful to show up with your high school hoodie, which is already 20-year-old and it's worn out and you don't want to recognize it, with your broken clothes where missing buttons, there are stains. For the men, not shaving your face for 40 days, I mean, seriously, it's not such a bad lockdown. You still can get some basic things to keep yourself looking okay. Of course, understand that you might not be able to hit the barber or the hairdresser, but there are ways that you can look at least neat and tidy, and it just shows something about you, about how you present yourself and your level of professionalism. It makes a difference when you have when you show your face and you show the environment around you, how you present yourself. It reflects who you are to a big extent. And I do believe, of course, there are different priorities. There are people taking care of sick parents, taking care of young children. They might be having difficulty, but still, I would say no matter what situation you are in, just wear something comfortable and presentable in order to, just to continue for your own good self-esteem and for your own good mental condition when you're working from home. Rule number 4. If you are presenting something, let's say a PowerPoint presentation, or you want to share something on your screen that you are seeing, please ask if everybody can see your screen. This is no-brainer, but very often people will start presenting something, and the way that they have used some kind of settings, or different browsers have different settings, and sometimes when you switch from tab to tab, people lose you. And you might take them 10 minutes to understand that what you are talking about is no longer on the screen, just because you've completely carried yourself away. Make sure you wait a little bit, because there is a lag, and there might be also a technical problem and people do not see what you see. So try to ask from time to time to see if people are following you without any problem. And also, especially if you are more senior in the meeting, or for some reason the others have maybe a bit of an angst to say and to raise their voice, that they then don't see what you're presenting, it might be a total waste of everybody's time. Big no-no when it comes to online meetings, online trainings and webinars. Do not screen share a tool that you're using. So website where you are actually making changes, especially if you are sharing it on a shared call. This becomes very, very difficult. Very often some websites and tools start behaving very differently when you're screen sharing. And they will take ages to actually load. So simple things that you used to do with a few clicks might take ages and just destroy the whole meeting. Just record it and send a video of it, or you can just make some screen shares and some screenshots and just arrange them in slides. The awkward moment when there is a question, there is a bunch of people on the call and nobody is answering. This is a really weird one, and you might feel really strange when you ask that, but what I would suggest in this kind of case is to point it to someone concrete. It doesn't matter, you can say it in a polite way, so you don't really put the person on spot, but you can say like, oh, what do you think about this? Because recently you were working on a similar project. Or you can say, well, how does that go in Germany, for example? Because I'm aware of this and this in this country. So you select kind of at least a group of people or someone to start a discussion. Otherwise, it might be really awkward, a bit strange, and there is no questions, there is no comments, but you know that there's some kind of questions in there. However, people are feeling embarrassed to ask, mute themselves. I mean, this can be awkward in a live meeting, but it's even more awkward in an online call. Finally, set an end of the meeting. Make sure that people are aware that when you set up a half an hour call, you will finish at the half an hour. That's why it's so important to arrive early and to start on time, because you are wasting everybody's time. There would be people who actually will have to leave immediately after that. Let's say they have another call or they have something else planned. They have to be somewhere else. So you have to finish on time. And you have to make it actually known to the group that it's okay if they drop out. Let's say if there is some kind of discussion or a question that arises in the last moment and you still have spare time to discuss and talk, you can stay, but make sure that you don't keep everybody else there. Just say, all right, guys, like I know it's over time. Whoever needs to go can go. If you want to discuss further, let's stay on this call, or let's arrange another time to finish the discussion. Or you can finish it by email. There's different ways, but don't hold people over time. This is really, really bad etiquette and can get people especially annoyed, especially if they arrived on time and now they have to stay over the end of the meeting. I know it's frustrating, but make sure that you keep up with time. And to be honest, at Google, we are religious about timekeeping. We start on time, we finish straight on time. On the 30th minute, there's no more discussions. I think this is very valuable because with the time, everybody else who works with us learns the same schedule. So they arrive straight on time, they let you know whether can make it or not. We finish the call straight on the minute so they can plan their day further ahead. So these are my tips on online meeting etiquette. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, maybe you have some other tips. I'll be happy to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for everybody who is new to the channel. Welcome, explore the rest of the videos, share it with friends, like it, and let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you very soon.